Hello and welcome back to Stellaris Distant Stars, where we are playing as the United Syndicates of Earth. It has been about 2 weeks since I last recorded, so of course, in true Loresworn fashion, I have no idea what's going on or what I was doing. Brianna and Casey the Lord Dog are also here accompanying me as well. It's raining too hard, and Casey is irritated that she can't go outside because she would be soaked.
We tried to let her outside, but she doesn't want to go outside.
No, yeah. She's upset that she can't go outside, but then also she doesn't want to because it's raining and she doesn't like water. So, we are at war with the Dabax, and only the Dabax, which is significant because we just finished a war with the Thembor, who they are allied to, and we usually have to deal with them both at once, but not having to do that right now. I think we are building up our fleet, question mark? Yeah. I think that was our goal, is to rebuild our fleet and then go kick their asses. We never rebuilt our armies either, so we should probably get on that. There's probably a reason I was waiting, not rebuilding the army right away, but I have long forgotten that, so let's go ahead and continue to reinforce the fleet. It looks like we need about 6k minerals to get back up to full strength. I believe we also have the option of setting up an Empire capital on Earth. Oh, we already have the Empire capital. It's the Hypercoms forum that needs upgrading. Arcturus station should be fully fortified. Yes, it is. So I don't think we're under any immediate or even secondary... Oh! The Kataknor are going and taking their systems for us in the meantime. We can't actually claim systems from them because of our government type, but we can flip them to a more friendly ideology, which is probably what we'll try to do here if we get the chance. Reinforcing the fleet. Should need about 4k more. Yep. 4k more to get to full strength. I don't know if we're doing an energy trade right now or not. We also need to make sure, we need to build the remaining 11 defense platforms here before we open up the Singularity. And it's been advised in the comments that we not do that while we're at war, so I'm going to heed that advice. Don't exactly remember why we're still losing energy credits. Could be that we just have too many ships and too many stations going on.
Project concluded.
Okay, here comes their fleet. 13k, we could crush that pretty easily. There's another stack up here of 314, which isn't even worth talking about. So they're probably going to retake their systems and snipe this Kataknor fleet, but they're not going to make it through the. They're not going to make it through the Arcturus bastion. Not by any means. Once again, the Kataknor prove that they are completely incompetent at any military operations whatsoever. They want a research agreement, and they will give us energy credits. I will definitely accept that. Need to bolster our energy credits. Oh, our science ships are back. So, Dolores Alvarez... Where is she? We want you to assist research on Earth. And what's our second highest science-producing planet? Looks like Bakkanen produces a heckload of sun. Oh, it's Zanam, obviously. So the Wanderer... until we're ready to open the L gate. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to send I'm going to send the remembrance to Bakinen. Because we get a little bit of science from assisting research on Earth, but
Construction project complete.
My thoughts on that are Let's see how this is going. War scores being driven up by our allies being stupid, which is the story of our lives. War exhaustion, rather, not war score. I'm hoping to finish this series by the time Eve for Dharma comes out. They announced officially that that's coming on September 6th. So I'm thinking EU4 is going to fill in for this series when it's done. Hopefully that'll line up well. We're going to take the diplomacy traditions next, so we can actually get a federation going. Surprised the Marauders haven't awakened yet. It's like 50 years past the date that they could awaken. Oh, trade deal. Yes, we will take that. That will help us build up our fleet. All right. So we've got Corvette, a cruiser, 2 cruisers and a destroyer on the way from Churgamore. And then 2 cruisers are currently being built at Earth. And then we will be ready to rock and roll, I believe. I don't think we're even going to need to build a second fleet to take these guys on. The killer geckos, once again, are insulting us. Doing their killer gecko thing. Kind of surprised we spawned without a habitable planet on Barnard's star. That one almost always has a habitable planet when you're doing the Earth start. In my experience, at least. And then we'll see how screwed we are financially when we have all of these ships out of dock. These guys are ready to embark. Go ahead and put them on aggressive stance. These guys are also on aggressive stance. And I think we just have one more ship that we're waiting on.
Receiving transmission.
Minerals for Aldar crystals. Everybody wants our Aldar crystals. We have the best Aldar crystals. All other nations have inferior Aldar crystals. 17k and 16k. Okay, that's a little bit of a. It's a little bit of a beefy combined fleet there. It's slightly larger than our current fleet if they combine everything together. Make sure these guys are on take point. Cool. So maybe the Kataknor will someday decide to follow us and do something useful. Concluded. We've got new power plants. Not a moment too soon. Neutronium ore we don't have access to as far as I know. So let's get some neutron launchers up in this mofo. For as strong as the Union of Thembor is, they are still scared to take on whatever is in the crash system. Very curious about that. Dabak's at war with anyone besides us because their fleets are pulling back. No, it doesn't look like it. So I have no idea what their fleets are doing. Oh my gosh, did the Kataknor actually decide to follow us into battle for once? Minus 633 from achieving our war goals. Alright, let's start taking some systems. Oh, and let's start upgrading some power plants so we don't run out of money. Not money. Resources. We're syndicalists. We live in a moneyless, stateless world. You'll be banned from this subreddit if you believe in anything besides a moneyless, stateless world. The 6 people in the comments who got that joke, I'm doing this for you. Alright.
Hostile station.
We need to renew production targets. What was the other one? Recycling campaigns. That takes energy, right? To give us minerals. We'll hold off on that for now. I think we've got all the minerals we need at the moment. Alright. Drive up their war exhaustion. So even if they do launch their full fleet power at us and we have to fall back, we can fall back to the Arcturus Bastion, and at that point it's like, you know, bring it on. Like, we'll just park there while we at the 22.8k defensive station while we wait for our reinforcements to show up, and I don't think this is a risky offensive at all in the grand scheme of things. We'll go ahead and secure this little hyperlane cluster over here, and then we'll start pushing up this way. Should start to see the war exhaustion balance tip in the other direction here. And we're gaining temporary access to a lot of their resources, which is nice. Get some level 4 power plants going on Earth. Look at these hucksters and their undeveloped systems. They don't even have mining stations built in areas where they've had control for a long time. Look at these jokers. They thought they could take us on. They thought they could take on the united might of the liberated workers of Earth. Who are they kidding? I mean, don't get me wrong. When they're fighting alongside the Union of Thembor, they're kind of scary, but they started a war at a really terrible time where they couldn't call the Thembor in because the Thembor were already involved in a different war with us that they actually did win, but then they ended up alone against the full might of our fleet. So, all right, we can build battleships now. That's very good. Let's get our maxed out engineering facilities. I think we're in a comfortable position to where we don't have to rush military tech necessarily. Alright, still haven't lost a single ship yet. And yet our war exhaustion is still higher because our freaking allies are not smart. We're never really going to have to worry about attrition at all because of that living metal. I love it. I love it so much. Let's see, we already tore down all the farms we can afford to tear down, so that's good. Oh, the Miravandia are on our side in this war, too? Oh, shit. That's where their fleets went. That's why we've lost so much, or why our side has so much war exhaustion. They're fighting the Miravandia up there, too. They're fighting themselves a two-front war. So we have 2 allies, potentially, that are being dumbasses and causing our war exhaustion to go up. But, hey, I like that you're diverting their focus. That's ultimately a good thing for us. Still haven't lost a ship. See how far into the war we can get without losing a single ship. So once we take Wicklar, we are going to have to either branch off this way or this way, which will leave us open to counterattack. I think we're going to go for this direction over here. That seems to be where the most stuff is. Well, I guess most of their stuff is up north, but we'll clean this area up first, I think. Oh, how long is that research slot been open? TJ's not paying attention. Gray dust. Let's get biolabs. Let's just get all of the best labs available to us. Naval base, alien system. Okay, so there is a planet there. Oh, there's an inhabited planet here too. Why is the system called a naval base then? Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So are we the primary defender? Because it's saying our war goal is humiliate, but I would much rather flip their government. Maybe it's I had a chance to select that and it's too late now, and I just messed it up because I wasn't paying attention. How many ships do the Miravandia have to be losing for us to have not turned the scales of war exhaustion yet? I'm liking all these free minerals we're getting, or free energy stations we're getting access to. That's very helpful. No idea where. Oh, there they are. I was gonna say I don't have any idea where the Kataknor fucked off to, but there they are. They managed to put together a 5K fleet, which is probably one of the largest fleets they've ever been able to put together. They're generally not good at knowing how many spaceships to build. Which, pro strategy tip, you should build a lot of spaceships. Often they build not very many spaceships, which is the wrong amount of spaceships. In Stellaris, you always want to have a lot of spaceships. You guys can post that one on the wiki. Just, I want to make sure everybody knows that. It's an important facet of the game that the Kataknor never really seem to be able to get their heads around. Yes, they're fox people. They have heads. I can say get their heads around. I'm not being a space racist by assuming that they have heads. Because not everyone does. Not everyone in outer space has a head. You can tell I'm always in a good mood when I'm, like, winning a war, like, like, uncompromisingly. Is that the word I'm looking for? Unambiguously. When I'm winning a war unambiguously, I'm usually in a good mood. Just as a general rule. Oh, hey! We could research these anomalies really quick while we have access to their space. Let's see. Did she take both orders? Alright. Research anomalies in system. And then after that, research the anomalies in this system. Sweet. That will work out nicely. Oh, here comes a hostile fleet. 1.6k. Down for the Saramor system. We are about to meet them in battle. And we have about twice their number. So this is going to be a stomping, I believe. Let's go down to a slower speed and let's admire this
sustaining damage.
space battle. Station is like in trouble, but they see the fleet coming and they're like, oh, well, we didn't get there in time. They do have some battleships, which present a little bit of trouble for us because we don't have battleships yet, but yeah, this is going to be a pretty decisive victory, I think. There we go. We lost some ships. We lost 3 destroyers and a cruiser. They lost 1 cruiser and 2 battleships, so that was a good trade. Taking out those 2 battleships, that's a large net gain for us. That is definitely a more significant economic loss for them than it is for us. And there's the Katoknord pushing on forward. I don't know. Okay, they are bringing troops, so they could potentially take Vural Kawaned by themselves. Go back up to speed 3 here. We're almost up to
Construction project concluded.
Being out of our energy credit deficit just from taking enemy stations. Let's see, that is a 244 fleet. That is a 20k fleet, so that could potentially cause problems. But if they're moving that many forces down our way, they're not really going to be able to deal with the Miravandia up here. Assuming the Miravandia are competent, which, assuming our allies are competent, is not always the best strategy in this campaign. Is something I've noticed, but yeah, why does it say 36 wanted?
Construction project concluded.
Oh, that's just the total wanted. That's not the number that are in the queue. Yeah, we can take that. We can take that fleet. Especially if the Katoknord amazingly decide to follow us. Oh, did they take the planet? No, they took the station, but not the planet. I was going to be highly impressed. I was going to be highly impressed. Alright, 1.2k station, that's pretty good. And are they running? They are running the F away. So, actually, let's take the planet. They're going to try to loop around for a counterattack, but I think taking the planet is going to be even better. They have a decent surface garrison. Do they have any fortresses? They have a military academy, but no fortresses. Alright, our allies have showed up, our reinforcements have showed up, shown up. It's actually one of those weird things that as an editor I'm not 100% sure if both of those are correct or not.
Science ship sustaining damage.
Oh, shoot. I wasn't expecting...
Science ship status destroyed.
Man, I was not expecting you to get there that fast. We just lost a level 6 scientist because I was not paying attention. I'm very sorry to Dolores Alvarez and her friends and loved ones.
A declaration of war has been announced.
So the Thembor have declared war on us again. Okay. And once again, they're going after primarily the Kataknor. So the Kataknor might just die. Like, honestly, we don't have the time or resources to continue propping them up. We will upgrade Kepler to a Citadel. Also, we should probably upgrade Churgamore to a Citadel. They've never tried to penetrate into our space before, but this is no time to tempt fate. So, once again, we're just kind of at war with everybody. It seems to happen a lot. Are our armies going to land anytime this century? We've got 96 years left in this century, but even given that... don't exactly know when they're going to decide that the right time to attack is. So we'll see how it goes. The Kataknor are probably going to get destroyed when they finally put together a fleet that is almost 10k in power. Alright, come on. When they're down to 3 garrison armies, you've gotta... At that point, you've gotta just land, right? It would be a favorable outcome, I think, if they attacked now. This planet is probably totally trashed. Did we trash the military academy? Somehow the thing we've managed not to trash is the military academy. We're going to blow up everything else on the surface, and that's going to be what's left. Alright, there we go. Armies are landing. Oh, slave army. Slave army. You guys use slave armies? Democratic... Fanatic Egalitarian, how are you using slave armies? Alright, well, I guess they need to die now. You're not allowed to have slavery. That's expressly against the spirit of syndicalism, so... Oh well. Looks like the, Looks like the Thembor are just going to kind of do our work for us. So yeah, we've decided we don't need to protect you anymore because you're dirty slavers. So I think that's going to be the end of this episode. But what we've got to figure out next, we've probably got to chase down this Dabax fleet, take them out. We'll probably have a little bit of rebuilding to do, and really... Ultimately, I think we're gonna try to end this war with the Dabax as quickly as possible, and then go deal with the Thembor. And if they wreck what's left of the Kataknor in the meantime, then that's just a too bad, so sad situation going on. Because I highly doubt they'll get through Kepler. Let's see, Kepler. Currently 14.1k, the largest fleet they have in local space. Yeah, I might have to retool this to be more of a defensive station. But if they do get through, we'll deal with them. We can trade for energy credits. We have enough fleet capacity to build another entire fleet. So... We'll make it work. Check out Loresworn.com. That's our website. We're at Loresworn Order on Twitter. I am at AsaTJ. That is ASATJ. And hopefully at some point we will not be at war with the entire galaxy, so we can open the L gate, see what's on the other side. Subscribe, hit the notification button, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.